Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is obviously the new movie from Warner Brothers starring LeBron James. Basically the sequel to the late 1990s movie that was originally with, of course, Michael Jordan. Um, you know what? This has been getting really bad reviews online, and I can't really disagree with that. When I watched this movie, I really felt a lot the same about this movie. I mean, it's pretty bad in most parts, but the realization I came to it is that this movie was basically made for kids. So if you look at it from that perspective, that this is made for kids, it's really dumbed down. In a way, it's kind of sure it's they have the bring the Looney Tunes characters back for nostalgia purposes, for the older adults. But then, in a way, it's also trying to introduce Looney Tunes to a younger generation. So I kind of see what they were doing, trying to go with here. Yeah. So overall, I mean, it's not a very good movie. I mean, of course, it starts with focusing on LeBron James and one of his sons is, of course, two of his sons. One's into basketball. One is kind of getting into basketball. He's not really. He's more of a tech kid. He wants to make video games, and so he makes a video game. And then when LeBron's called to Warner Brothers to get pitched some movie ideas, the AI there, well, first LeBron rejects the ideas that the Warner executives give him, and so then the AI gets mad because the AI came up with it. It's played by Don Cheadle, and so he kidnaps LeBron and his son, and he basically sets up this basketball game, kind of very similar to the first one, where it's like, okay, it's you, the Looney Tunes, versus my squad, and if you lose, then you're stuck here forever. So then LeBron has to go recruit his team, and then also the AI actually recruits his son to be on his team, and because the AI uses the son's game to play, and it's not a normal game of basketball. They get like style points and all these kind of bonuses. So that's basically the premise of the game, and so like I said, the story is pretty weak. The first one I enjoyed when I was younger, and it didn't take itself too seriously. It was a fun movie. This one, there's a lot of product placement put in here by Warner Brothers, especially when they get to the game part. There's it's filled, like the stands are filled with Warner Brothers properties and characters. So they're doing a lot of product placement, if you will. But although I think the most, the part that I enjoyed the best is when they were actually recruiting the team, because first he finds Bugs Bunny on this planet, but he's the only one there, and he tells LeBron that years ago the other Tunes had left the planet. So they basically get Marvin Martian's spaceship, and they go out to recruit the Tunes. And I like that because they went to recruit the Tunes, and they were basically put these Tunes in the middle of famous Warner Brothers movies. So I don't want to spoil. This is not a spoiler review, so I don't want to spoil all the different Easter eggs and references. But the way they inserted these Tunes into different movies, I kind of got a kick out of. The most heart of the movie itself, it's kind of very plain. It's somewhat of a simple plot. They're trying to beat the AI and his team because they got this monster squad made of. They steal powers and skills from basketball players, and so they got it to defeat that squad. Very similar to the first one. And then the plot is very because LeBron's trying to win his son back. Get back during this whole thing. So that part is kind of very straightforward and plain, kind of say cliche. So yeah, it's not this movie's not very well acted. Like there's parts where you can tell they're just reciting lines, like especially LeBron and his son. They're not very like the other actors. The more the season for just like I know what's her name, Sister Green that plays his wife, Sonequa Martin Green. She's a very seasoned actress from Walking Dead and other things, so she was really good for her part. And then of course Don Cheadle as the AI. I mean, he was very over the top, which he's supposed to be. But for the most part, a lot of the lines were just very kind of, you can tell they're just kind of reciting lines. So yeah, this is not a very good movie, but like I said, you have to view it from the point of this is made for kids. So whereas and also got to give credit to the special effects. The special effects with the Tunes, with all the the bonuses they did when they're during the game and how they score points. That was really good. Although there are some cringe moments where the game stops and they do all the special things during the thing that's like, oh, come on, let's just get on with it. I mean, because it does make the movie drag a bit. So, yeah, as I say, in execution, this was not very good. Obviously, they made this movie just to kind of capitalize on LeBron James's name, and that kind of market on that. So, from sure, I wouldn't really recommend this movie unless you have kids, unless you have young kids, unless you have a family and they're really into sports or into Looney Tunes or whatever. I wouldn't recommend that. And I personally would not have seen this in theater. If it wasn't for HBO Max, I would not have watched this. But if you have a family, if you just want a night out, hey, go ahead. That's probably for you. That's the only way I could really recommend it if you have a family. Other than that, I would kind of avoid this movie. It was not very good. It's kind of a retread of the first movie in a different way, but not as good. They kind of but in that is compared to the first one, instead of the Looney Tunes going to like Michael Jordan or whatever, this one LeBron had to go to the Tunes. So that's the only real big difference. But like I said, I like the special effects. The effects are cute. But other than that, the story is pretty plain and not great. And the acting is very subpar. So I cannot recommend this movie. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Space Jam: A New Legacy. If you've seen it, give me comments below. Let me know what you thought. And once again, as always, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks.